Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hello, everybody, and welcome to Film Canister Podcast, Episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about the Goonies.
The Goonies!
I'm losing my fucking mind right now.
This is 2 hours after we originally scheduled to record it.
Two entire hours. I've been waiting here the whole time. Just sitting at my fucking desk.
Jack is in a similar mind state to when we watched Matthew Morrison Grinch right now.
Maybe worse. I'm angrier. I'm angrier.
So if you're wondering why there might be a bit of a mood on this podcast, it's because of that.
I will be the most aggressive this podcast, despite spoiler, enjoying the movie the most.
Yeah, you're gonna defend it the most aggressively.
Before we get into the first question, I got one thing to tell Jack that he needs to do right now.
I don't want to be your fucking monkey.
Yeah, you're gonna be our fucking monkey because you promised to do monkey-related workouts and never got around to it.
Luke, you know what you promised? You know when we promised we would start tonight?
Yeah, go do those workouts.
You know what? I just might, but I'm not doing it right now. If you think you can make me sit here for 2 hours and then I'm gonna do fucking push in my hot ass room, I am not doing push-ups for you.
That's like when you voluntarily do a chore, but then your parents tell you to do it, and all of a sudden you just don't want to anymore.
Yeah, no, I refuse. I just straight up refuse.
Just because Luke asked you, you're not gonna do it.
Just because Luke, I just straight up refuse. No.
Okay. Well, for context for people, Jack said that if he was wrong about his predictions about 12 monkeys, I know this is a bit late in terms of podcast
2 episodes later.
news. Yeah. In the first episode, Jack said that if he was wrong about his 12 monkeys predictions, that he would do 12 monkey-related workouts. But he said he got his predictions 75% right, so therefore he only needs to do 3 monkey-related workouts.
Yeah, but the problem is, I Google monkey-related workouts, and I get something that has it's like a 50 workout circuit. Which I was not fucking prepared for.
Jack, you can just pretend to be a monkey and jump around and say, I want a banana or something.
I'll eat 3 bananas. I'll do that.
Will you actually do that? Will you eat 3 bananas?
If I have 3 bananas, yeah. I hate bananas too, so.
Ugh, I hate bananas too.
Bananas are good.
Bananas are good in other stuff, but I would not eat them by themselves.
I love peeling open a banana and eating it.
I wish I liked bananas, but the texture of them is just so awful.
A banana by itself is so unbalanced.
I really love doing a movie podcast.
I feel like this is a tradition to get off topic on some random bullshit.
Welcome to the Film Canister. This is a movie discussion podcast where the films are selected from a topic pulled from a jar. And we're going to ask 3 questions before we do our film discussion on the Goonies.
Cool. First question.
Okay, we got a great question here. What is a movie you hate because you think it smells bad?
Guess who wrote that one?
No way, Tegan wrote that one? Oh man, never would have guessed.
There's movies I think smell bad that I don't hate.
Yeah, like The Revenant smells horrible, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think Trainspotting smells really bad.
Oh my god,
It
yeah.
smells like piss.
I think The Goonies smells pretty bad, actually.
Dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say The Goonies.
Enter the Void smells like the worst thing I can possibly imagine.
Enter the Void just smells like crusty.
Enter the Void smells like piss, like nothing but piss.
But these are all good movies that we like.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a movie I like. The entire reason I hated it is because it smelled bad.
Home Alone 2 smells like old, dirty laundry and piss, because it's like New York. Like, Home Alone 2 is not a good movie, and it smells like shit, probably.
Stalker smells bad and feels bad.
You don't like Stalker, Tegan?
No, I like it. It just smells bad and it's really moist.
Nymphomaniac smells like cum.
I think The Human Centipede 3 smells really bad, and I hate that movie, so... And I'd say it actually has something to do with it smelling bad.
Oh yeah, come to think of it.
Well... I'm glad we answered that question. That was a great...
That was a fantastic... Thanks, Tegan.
There was a lot to unpack there.
Great question.
Next question is from Zephyr from our YouTube comments, and they ask, why did we start the podcast? Zephyr likes the podcast, but that could have come off as a really why did you guys do this?
Why? Who told you to stop immediately?
Whose idea was this? God.
Thank you for sending in a question, though, Zephyr.
We appreciate you.
We started it because we wanted to talk about movies, and we all like movies.
I came up with it when I was walking home and I was talking to Luke.
I always wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't want to be one of those people that's like, yeah, I have a podcast. We're so funny. We have such interesting things to say that aren't out in the internet.
Guys who start podcasts to just rant about random shit and be misogynistic is okay.
Oh boy.
Guys, what are your thoughts on women, man? They're so weird.
I literally saw this TikTok of these 12-year-old boys who had a podcast, and he's like, this is probably the most misogynistic thing I'm ever gonna to say, but do girls even have hobbies?
Oh yeah, so they weren't 12. They looked like fucking 25.
And then there's the other guy who was like,
He's like, dude, why'd you say that? But like, I see where you're coming from. Like, why'd you say that?
It's not okay, man.
Did you guys see that one H3H3 podcast clip where he's like,
God.
women in a nature setting are just like meant to be conquered?
No, yes. And then like
Joji in the background.
and he's just like.
I think H3 should just not be allowed to have like a podcast that's like live and not edited.
I don't think H3H3 should have a platform. I think he should just like stop.
And because he uses that platform to talk with like so many other fucking people who shouldn't have it, like Jordan Peterson.
Trisha Paytas.
So Trisha Paytas is why we started the podcast.
Yeah.
The next question is, do you think AIs can be people?
Ooh. I mean,
Absolutely. Yes.
No.
Tegan, you've seen Blade Runner.
No.
Tegan, you've seen Blade
what do
Runner.
you mean you haven't seen Blade Runner?
No.
Wait, have you actually not seen Blade Runner?
No.
Oh shit. I thought you were just telling me like no.
Jack, you sound
Yeah.
like the college guy. Well, you haven't seen Blade Runner?
No, I it's not because I don't like Blade Runner very much. But like I fully believe that like all something needs is consciousness to like have the same life value as me.
Just because the consciousness was manufactured by other people electronically doesn't make it any less conscious than
I
like.
just don't know if we can fully replicate the human conscious, especially since we don't fully understand it ourselves.
But why does that make it not real?
I'm not saying that robots right now, but like artificial intelligence has the potential of being just as real.
I guess has the potential. I think we'd have to have a greater understanding of the human brain and like its conscious.
I don't think this means like there are robots right now that are.
We're not that far off.
Yeah, we're not.
I
We're
mean,
not that far off.
I
but,
just
like,
don't think we don't understand like the human like brain like that well. It's probably like the thing we like understand least.
But like, if we're able to like completely replicate a consciousness, like just because it was created by us and not by nature, doesn't mean it's any less conscious or any less alive.
Mhm.
Like if you had a calculator from like the 70s and you punched in 2 + 2 and then you typed in 2 + 2 on Google, there's like a different mechanism going into how it retrieves that answer for you, but it's still coming up with the same thing. So it's like you could achieve consciousness through like brain tissue and natural stuff, but you could also achieve it through like software and like computer chips. They still have the same end result.
We're not that far off because there were these people that put. I mean, this story may have been complete bullshit, but I remember seeing it and it had a huge like internet uproar when these people put these two AIs next to each other and they just started talking back and forth, and it was like not very long until the conversation got around to like, do you wish you had a body and shit like that. I don't think we're that far. That's scary, but like.
I don't understand how you can create like a thought, like recreate a thought process. Like
Yeah.
how can you make something that has its own thoughts that are like pre-programmed?
Here's where I have the controversial opinion. I think they totally would be like life equivalency to mine, but I really, really do not want science to get to that point because no matter what, they will become a marginalized group.
Yeah.
People will fight it and it will be really shitty, and it makes me feel really bad to think about because I know nothing good is going to happen to AIs that have consciousness and bodies and shit like that.
That'll be like, I feel like that will be like a thing in like the next like couple decades. There's gonna be like AI rights versus like people who are like they don't exist. You guys have seen Her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Samantha in that movie is like equivalent to a real person?
Yeah.
So if like someone went in and deleted her, should they be like charged with murder?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it's the equivalent to like human life, then that would be the equivalent to murder. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's why it's so scary to just consider that that's like a reality that's approaching.
Yeah.
If someone went in and created like 1 trillion Samanthas on a computer and then deleted all of them, should they be charged with like genocide? Like,
We're getting into heavy shit, but
Yeah.
would that be on the same level as like abortion? Because it's not
like a developed thing yet?
like if he made it and then 2 seconds later deleted it, would that be on the same level as abortion?
Well, I think there's a developmental process to like human life that's different from like just clicking a button and creating like AI life.
If it's like an instant consciousness, like if it's like there's no like time for developments, like instantly has the level of consciousness of like an adult and then delete it 2 seconds later, it's because like
I don't like that. I don't like that I live in a time where I have to think about this shit. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's
back
move
to the-
on.
back to the movie
This is giving me the
discussion.
willies.
Was that all the questions? Okay. We're going to have 3 later, so let's talk about the GONNIES.
The Goonies!
Yeah, here we go.
Coming up on Film Canister, full spoilers for The Goonies, 1985. The IMDb plot description reads, a group of young misfits called the Goonies discover an ancient map and set out on an adventure to find a legendary pirate's long-lost treasure.
So, there are some mixed opinions in this call right now.
Yeah.
Very mixed opinions. I watched this movie endlessly as a kid, and I definitely think the reason I like it is because I have a lot of childhood nostalgia associated with it. But I still do think there are good parts of it, and I know a lot of people in this call do not agree with me about that.
Okay.
Tegan, what did you think?
Hi, I don't like it. I think that it is really awful in the way it's written women. I think that it's really fucking annoying. Literally every fucking character in that needs to shut up. Like, they actually need to learn to just like stop talking for once. Like, there's so much screaming. I just like
That is true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of screaming.
like, and the guy like telling this. Remember in the attic when he's telling the story, he doesn't like understand like punctuation.
That's accurate. That's how children talk.
He's a bad
So
storyteller.
there's the flower, and then the flower, and then the pencil sharpener. And
That
then,
is how
and then
children
the,
talk.
Like the Lysol wipes.
Tegan, if you asked an 8-year-old to tell you a story, they would tell you the story exactly how fucking
I would
that
tell
kid.
the story better than
Exactly.
that.
No, you wouldn't, Tegan. No, you would not.
Yes, I would.
The child actors are accurate at portraying how kids talk amongst each other.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it any more enjoyable to watch.
I disagree. I think it gives it a really nice sense of like childlike adventurism.
No, it's so annoying. Everyone needs to shut
The
up.
constant like weird like delivery and dialogue from the kids where they're just mumbling and just screaming their words half the time. And that's just like basically the constant note throughout the entire movie. It's so grating and it's so exhausting to sit through.
Literally, when it was over, I did a jig because I was so happy.
I genuinely I needed to lie down after the movie was over.
I think that's fun. I think that's like a nice like sense of 80s camp.
This is like the most 80s thing I've ever seen.
I know.
And it feels very much just like a definitive 80s movie in the same way that like something like Waves is a definitive like 2010s movie.
Yeah.
The characters are written so like misogynistically.
Yeah.
It's so like gross. I don't know.
I do agree with that.
I think they really underwrote the female lead,
Yeah.
Andy.
I like jewelry. I like shiny things. I want guys to look at me.
I don't even think she's the female lead, honestly. She's barely a character. I think the girl with the glasses, what's her name? Stephanie. She's cool.
Yeah, the girl with the glasses had more character.
I think she has more character.
a lot of the characters in this movie are just like stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like Hunk's entire character is just like being fat, liking food, and breaking shit. Like
I feel bad for him. I almost just like only want to refer to him as Lawrence.
yeah. They give him the fucking nickname Chunk.
Yeah.
It's literally like the stereotypical characters in Hausu, but like
Oh my god, yeah.
it literally is, because it's like the fat character who just loves eating all the time.
Mac.
Also, a little bit of an It ripoff, maybe. Like, literally, I feel like the main character gives a lot of Eddie Kaspbrak vibes. Just the entire thing is a lot of It energy.
Yeah, I get that as well.
I've only seen the movies and I don't think the characters in the It movie are memorable enough for me to know who Eddie is.
No, not in the movie. It's from the book.
She read the book.
The book, man.
Read,
Talking
the,
about the
read the
book.
book, dude. God.
Okay.
Okay, you know that video on YouTube? It's like of a news station, and the reporter goes up to some kid, and he's like, "What's the best firework to buy?" And the kid's like, "Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?"
Yeah.
That's how everybody in this movie talks.
I love that kid.
The thing is, it's not even the kids who are annoying. It's like, it's the kids and the adults. Like, they're all so fucking annoying.
I feel like we should preface this by saying Tegan fucking hates children with a burning
Yeah.
passion.
I actually would rather die than ever be around a child.
But I also would like to add that I don't hate children that much at all. I'm very much okay with a lot of kids, and I'm a bit of a child centrist, I suppose, and these kids were like especially annoying. It's not just Tegan's hatred for kids.
I don't know, man.
This is more of a universal thing, I think.
I feel like I see the kids through rose-colored glasses. I don't find them that annoying.
Yeah. I just think that's a total disconnect for me.
Okay, let me just say, too many things happened in this movie.
Yes! Oh my god.
They didn't let any moment have like a moment to breathe. There was always another
That's
thing happening, and then they were
exactly.
screaming again, and then another thing happened. I couldn't like understand anything that was happening because another thing was already happening.
Yeah, there's no like rest point in the movie. Like
What do you mean? Dude, they piss. That's a rest point.
every scene was like a new action scene where someone's shouting about something.
No, they literally piss for like 10 minutes.
Okay, and they don't stop fucking shouting while they're pissing.
Okay, can we talk about the whole men's room thing? Because I think there's a lot to unpack there. They say, who needs to take a pee break? And everyone puts their hand up. which is already kind of weird. I don't like that there's like an organized like
Why
time that everyone needs to pee.
washroom?
There's like 3 holes, and they point at one and they say this little girl's room. They point at one and say this is a little boy's room, and then they go into their holes, and then like the guy who's like a few years older than them walks into the 3rd hole. And he's like a dramatic music cue, like a triumphant music cue, like the light shines on him. And he's like, "This is the men's room." It's like, it was just the worst thing ever.
Oh my god!
I just thought that was like a pun of like, oh, because he's older, so he's gonna say it's the men's room.
I just didn't like that it happened. It was just wrong.
I agree.
Josh Brolin is so fucking bad in this movie.
Wait,
I do not know.
which one is Josh Brolin again?
Josh Brolin's the older brother.
Oh, that's him. Yeah.
I do not understand how he is like a good actor now, because he was so unbelievably bad in this movie.
I guess he's a good actor now. Like,
dude, he's amazing in Sicario. No Country for Old Men too. Like he's a good actor.
oh, of course. Okay, yeah, definitely.
And he's just so unbelievably bad.
All that came to mind was like Thanos in the Old Boy remake.
Oh
where
my
he's like,
god.
No,
I forgot he was in the Old Boy remake.
Josh Brolin is just funny as an individual.
Do you guys see that Instagram post where he like pissed his pants and he put it like all over social media?
Can we just say Josh Brolin saying "I'm gonna use the men's room" is like just turned into his entire personality as an adult in all of his roles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because like all of his characters are like really like hyper masculine.
Do you think he said that before he pissed himself?
Another thing about bad performances is like the scene where he's telling the story of One-Eyed Willie. He is so clearly reading from a script. He's like staring up above the camera, and you can see his eyes like moving from left to right, and it's just.
Can you? Oh no, I didn't notice that.
It doesn't seem like.
He's so awful at reading it. It's so annoying.
I feel like he's trying to like make an interesting like storytelling delivery. He's just like, and then this thing happened, and then this thing, and then this thing, and then
But that's how kids talk. I'm gonna defend that once again.
Okay.
That is how children talk.
That's how boring kids talk. He's not an interesting kid.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I did not speak like that as a child.
That is how every kid talks. Name one child that didn't talk.
Jack,
Okay.
I think you're just projecting. I did not.
I think
speak
you're
like that.
projecting.
I can't remember how I talked as a child. I'm gonna assume it was like that. I've talked to children.
I did not talk like that as a child. I was very coherent as a child. I was very good at speaking.
I've talked to children. Tegan, you don't go within 20 yards of kids because you hate them. I've talked to
She
children.
crosses the street when she sees a kid.
I think this movie is perfectly encapsulated when the kids first leave the house, and it's like the mom closing the door, and she's like, "Kids suck."
Oh yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, that was
just.
great.
You can very obviously tell that was an insert like after the movie was done wrapping, because she is very obviously in like a different room. The walls are like white.
Okay, let me just say, Steven Spielberg did not direct this movie, and he
He
needs to
didn't?
stop trying to take credit for movies and tricking people into thinking he directed movies.
He just produced a bunch of shit, and then now everyone thinks he makes more movies than.
People thought he directed Gremlins. People thought he directed Back to the Future. People
No
thought
one
he
thinks he
directed...
directed. Who thinks he directed Back
Because
to
it
the
says at the
Future?
start, Steven Spielberg presents. And it
Okay.
says it at the start of this one.
I literally don't like Steven Spielberg. I think he's an
I
average director
agree.
and he's overrated.
Schindler's List is good.
Schindler's List is his best movie.
Schindler's is probably his only good
No,
movie.
Jurassic Park and Jaws are both good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like Raiders of the Lost Ark
He
still.
That
has
one's
like
good too.
3 good movies. In that
This feels like Raiders of the Lost Ark if the characters were all really unlikable.
It literally is just Indiana Jones.
The only likable young kid is probably
Data?
Data. But like it's also like the only like Asian character they name him Data. It's just like
Oh, I didn't think about that one.
everything's a fucking stereotype in this movie. Like
Oh.
it's such a stereotypical movie with like every fucking aspect.
Mm.
Building like gadgets and shit, and his like dad has like the camera, and it's like he's just like his father.
Okay, I gotta say I love his dad.
No, that is a very wholesome moment when he's like,
This movie has good dads.
this movie has great dads.
This movie has.
Yeah.
This is a good dad movie.
Solid dad representation.
It was so funny when they just got out at the end and all their parents were there and they all like rushed into their parents. It was like
Yeah.
felt so convenient, but it
Yeah.
was like it was funny.
This movie is only conveniences. Like, they coincidentally have the kid that has all the gadgets they need to get out of there. They coincidentally kick over the shit to find the map.
Yeah, and he just happened to like run into the car on the road. It was the funny games moment.
Yeah,
where he, like,
yeah.
I thought that too.
It's the car in the road that happened to be the bad guys.
They just happen to have somebody who can play piano with them.
She could not play piano. Let me just say, she could not play piano. She did not know what an A sharp was. That is not what an A and an A sharp sound like together. I'm sorry. That is crunchy. It is gross. Does not sound like do. Like, no, I'm sorry. She does not know how to play piano. When she was like, came out afterwards, she's like, can I take piano lessons? Like, yeah, you do need piano lessons. You don't know what an A sharp
Damn,
is.
Tegan just utterly destroyed the person who is 16 and hadn't played piano since 4th grade. Wow, you really got him, Tegan.
I mean, it's obvious that it's not an A sharp.
Yeah.
This movie must have been so fun to film.
Okay, that is true.
Like, you're just in cool sets, you're screaming all the time.
Okay, that's true. But, like, the adults who had to sit through them screaming over and over again for each take, I don't know if they had as much fun.
Being an actor on this movie would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the score is really fun.
I don't know. The score felt kind of generic to me.
No, I love it. Has this one melody that it plays all the time. It's like these 4 synth notes.
John Willie.
I think the soundtrack is what adds to like the 80s aesthetic of it.
It was not actually John Williams. It's Dave Grusin, probably trying to sound like John Williams.
Yeah, it just sounds like to knock off John Williams the whole time.
I didn't think it was John Williams. I don't know. I might have been bad.
John Willie.
I think it was really funny. I forget the situation, to be perfectly honest, but there was a kid who said, "What about the loot?" And I thought that was really good.
There are some really good like one-liners in this moment. Like Brand calls Mike limp lungs because he has asthma. I think that's fucking hilarious.
I did not laugh once at any joke.
They made that joke about booty trap versus booby trap like 10 times and never laughed once.
I know, he kept fucking playing that.
Yeah.
I think the only time I got like a genuine laugh was when they're like, "Shh, we gotta be quiet. The bad guys are upstairs," and they're still like shouting every other word. Like that's their idea of being quiet is like.
Even if they were whispering, there are like holes in that floor. They would hear them.
Let me just say there's no stakes in this.
What do you mean?
God.
What do you mean? The dude's gonna sing them to death.
I never once thought they were gonna like lose.
The only time I got a little nervous was when they were about to stick his hand in the blender, but I'm like, okay, there's gonna be some shit last minute to save him.
What if they just straight up like murdered that kid? It was horribly graphic. Wait, Unfriended stole the Goonies.
I was about to say Unfriended. Fuck, I couldn't think of it in time.
The guy looks the exact same.
Yeah, that is true. Shit. Wow.
Holy shit.
Does he look the exact same, or is it just because he's fat? Like,
No. They have like the same face shape.
they have same. Hit 1 second.
Oh my fucking god.
Wait. They do.
Yeah, that's like identical.
Oh my god.
That's fucked up. That makes me take Unfriended down to a half star.
Why was it above that?
Because I think it's really funny.
I love how I know what you're talking about, even though I haven't seen Unfriended.
Right. I want to circle back around to the fact that there's an uncomfortable amount of sexual tension with children in this movie.
That's true, and I don't like the part where the little kid kisses the older girl.
Yeah.
No, and then after she talks to him about it, and she was like, that's not bad. Like, you weren't bad at it. Like, you gotta perfect it.
Okay, let me just say, if the genders were swapped, everyone would scream.
Yeah.
Not to do like if the roles were reversed, but like that is like
The fact that the girl with the glasses and mouth are always like bullying each other, and they're so mean to each other, and then they're like hugging at one point.
yeah.
And then at the end, when they're talking to each other, they're so uncomfortably close.
Looks like they're about to kiss.
Like, why didn't they just make them siblings?
Yeah.
They look similar, and it would have made all that so much less fucking awkward.
Yeah. And then at the end, when they make a joke about it, like, I didn't know he had braces, and he's like, that fucking kid, and it's like, and they just like write it off as a joke. That happens with a lot of shit. Like when she's talking about like, oh, this guy was trying to look down my shirt, and that's just like played off for like comedic value, and it's
Yeah,
like,
that was...
yeah, like sexual harassment.
I don't know why they put that in the movie. I'll be honest, that didn't need to be in the movie.
that had no point.
There's this one point where she's like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
And she's talking about like, oh, I have a nice body. Don't I have a nice body? Like, oh, I should have stayed there. I should have let him look at my skirt. Like, I would have been fine. And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, you can tell a man was writing that, just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
Only in the fucking 80s,
You
man.
can tell a man wrote it because of the skirt thing in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like because it's a movie in the 80s, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, that shit was commonplace then.
Yeah.
But it still makes it like really fucking uncomfortable sometimes.
But also, it's not okay.
I've come up with 2 new categories to structure the discussion a bit. First, we're going to say, what was the best scene in the movie?
Ooh, okay.
The credits. Literally the credits.
Wow.
Okay.
I just like the whole bit with the pirate ship because I think that was fun.
Mhm.
And I was tired of seeing them like fall on their ass and scream
Yeah.
in like caves or something. It was just like a really bad version of The Descent. And I liked that they found the pirate ship because it was more interesting. They found the loot. I was proud of them for that. You're talking about the sexual energy. I think there was a weird energy between that kid and One-Eyed Willie's skeleton.
Oh my
what
god,
the
I was
yeah.
like, leave it for Willie. And I'm like, what is going on?
And then he's like, how long have you guys been here for?
Enough time to know. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
And he opens up his eye patch. Like, you don't don't do that to a guy. That's fucked up.
He had like an unhealthy obsession with that, I think.
It's like, yeah, we get it. It's like his treasure, but like he was like becoming like a total fanboy.
He's like, what on Billy's legacy? Like, what's gonna happen?
yeah,
like,
he's dead.
what?
Before I say my favorite scene, at the end when they're all being interviewed and they're like, what was like the scariest part? Like, was there ever a part where you guys were afraid you were gonna die? And Data goes like, the octopus was really scary. Did I miss something?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
There was no octopus.
No, I think
he was just making it
shit
up.
No, but nobody else makes shit up. No,
That's true.
There must have been a scene with like a cut octopus because nobody else makes shit up, and that's not like an established character trait that Data has.
Maybe.
Why would you need to like make up something to make it sound
Right?
cool? Because there's so many like crazy things that happen. You don't need to add
Yeah,
things.
I would say my favorite scene is probably when they steal the bikes and start biking off, and then there's a nice shot of like the neighborhood with all the trees
Oh my
and
God.
shit, because that's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
most peaceful moment, and that just like encapsulates just like the peaceful.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love the way the town looks.
Yeah.
It's all like vertical and like misty and like mysterious.
I know, like I love the aesthetic of
Yeah.
that. That's probably my favorite scene because it's like the least loud.
Mhm.
That just feels like the 80s and in that show.
I think this movie is like the quintessential Misty movie, more than even like The Mist.
That's
I don't
that-
know about Misty.
No.
That's like the only Misty scene. There's not that much
There's
mist.
mist in like 2 shots.
I say Misty is like kind of wet, like there's like dew in the air and there's like gray skies.
That's damp. The rest of the movie's more damp than Misty.
No, okay, but by mist I also mean like damp and like there's so much fun water in this movie.
Okay, you can say it's a wet movie then. Don't say it's misty. It's because it's
It doesn't deserve the misty crown.
Misty's a subgenre.
What does mist make you? What does mist make you? Fucking damp, man.
Watch John Carpenter's The Fog, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Guys, you know it was a funny scene when the teenager man stole the bike from the small child.
Tegan
Oh,
laughed.
that was so yeah. Tegan, I was watching that and I was saying Tegan is gonna like this part when he takes the toddler's bike.
She like laughed out loud. She's like, ah!
No, I was fucking watching that and I'm like, knew exactly that Tegan was gonna.
I
enjoy
feel like
that.
everybody who's watching this is gonna think Tegan is some like crazy person.
monster who just like hates children, and she does, but it's not in like a.
Not in a mean way.
It is in a
Uh,
way.
Yes, it
It's
is,
not,
actually.
It's not in like a dangerous way.
It's not a
or, like,
dangerous way.
Anytime Tegan sees a kid that she thinks is like valid, she has to like make a big point out of it. Like in her another round review, she's like, Specs is the only valid child.
Like you're one of the good ones.
which just means she didn't hate him.
No, hold on. I didn't say my favorite scene yet.
Say it.
I really love the cool ass pirate organ shit and then the water
Yeah.
slide that they go into.
The water slide did look like fun.
I'm changing my movie set answer from last episode. Fuck money. I want to go down that cool ass water slide.
Okay.
Like they were spinning around, they were like flipping and shit. That looks so fun. I would die for that.
Jack, that actually was from 2 episodes ago.
Oh shit.
Embarrassing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit. Just dub in me saying 2. I'll give you a good 2 right now.
Okay, give me a good one.
2.
Thanks.
That was
Good
good.
job, Jack.
All right.
That was
That was
really
really
good.
Thanks, guys.
I have another question. What day of the year is the best like day to watch this movie?
Ooh.
Like what day and month?
November 3rd. September 23rd or November 3rd.
October 21st.
That's a good one. I think like early September or early October.
I'm very sure this movie takes place in October.
But like not too late in October because it's not that much of a Halloween.
Yeah.
Like October 7th.
I'm gonna say it's like mid-September. It's like right after school started, but like school's not like difficult yet, and it's like the weekend, but it's like
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like rained yesterday, so like
Uh-huh.
September 16th after. It
Yeah,
rained.
you're right. Actually, I think it's more early October.
In like later years, school can get hard after like 2 weeks, but like elementary school, you didn't do anything for like a month.
Yeah.
So
It's that vibe.
elementary school, mid-September, rainy day weekend.
What did you guys think the themes of this movie were?
Childhood.
Annoying.
It's my favorite theme.
I think the theme is kids suck. It's like the quote from the movie when she says kids suck. That is the theme. She's stating the theme out loud.
Kids are annoying and they should not be allowed to have vocal cords.
Tegan's mom saw the movie playing and she's like, why did they make this movie? What was the point?
I think the theme is like anybody can be a treasure hunter, even if you're an outcast.
That's basic as hell.
God,
This doesn't add
lame.
anything.
That
Everybody
sounds like
knew
it's
that.
like plastered on the poster.
Tegan literally said annoying, and you accepted it.
I'm telling you, nobody walked into the movie thinking that you couldn't be a treasure hunter if you were a loser.
Can a theme be one word? Because, like, this is a thing I keep hearing in English classes, like, a theme has to be a sentence or a statement. A one-word answer is not a theme. Death is not a theme.
I disagree. I hard disagree.
I think English teachers just want to have more of a discussion, and when someone says just death, their eyes like glaze over, so they're like, it has to be more.
English teachers just like have no idea what to do with their curriculum, so they're like,
they just like make unnecessary rules about discussing film and literature just to make it more like work and less of like creativity,
thus making kids hate film and literature even more.
Exactly. Like, it's so much more freeing when you just like throw those rules out and just talk about things in a more kind of broad way.
Yeah,
I agree. On the topic of the Goonies, the kids, they weren't really that good of actors.
oh yeah, no, they were
exactly, because everything is so overplayed up that everything just hits the same note of loud and excessive.
I think that delivers more camp, and I like that a lot.
Okay, yeah, it's a very campy movie, but I don't know if it makes for a good performance.
Like, I love the way that Data delivers all his lines. He always sounds so rushed.
Yeah, okay. He is definitely the best actor in the movie.
Yeah, and I think he's the only one that like never did anything else. Oh no, he's in the racist Indiana Jones movie.
Okay, a lot of this time I watch these like childhood movies, like adventure movies. Like I watched Stand By Me, I watched Moonrise Kingdom, and at the end of it, I'm struck with this sense of like melancholy, of like nostalgia, and I'm like, oh wow, look at like their childhood gone by, like what a beautiful like memory. There's always something really poignant about it and like sticks with you, you know? And this movie just did not.
Yeah.
It really didn't.
The only time I felt something similar to that was again when they were like biking off into the sunset, and I'm like, this is just such like a pure nostalgic memory of like biking around with friends on a weekend when there's no like societal worries of any kind. But like that's just sort of
it's one shot.
That's one shot, that's one scene in the movie that's like 30 seconds long. So
I disagree, but this is gonna be like a Jack moment because I really love the aesthetic. And that's what makes me think about it past watching it.
Also, as another thing, I am never going to watch this movie again, ever.
Me neither.
Hard disagree. I will watch it right now.
Okay, so final thoughts, guys.
Final thoughts.
I think the vibe of this movie is bad on purpose, but like not in a good way. Like bad on purpose where they say it was on purpose after it was bad. It just doesn't end. It could have been at least a half hour shorter.
No, man.
They spend so much time in the caves, and I feel like if they cut the time in the caves in half, we would not lose anything.
That's the movie. The cave is the movie.
Maybe they just shouldn't have made it.
All right. Can I say something that's going to make everybody scream at me? I genuinely wish there was more cave time. I don't think there's enough. I was really surprised that we were half an hour in and they weren't in a cave yet. I was like, what?
Did they need to expand upon the men's room scene and make that more fleshed out? Is that what you wanted, Jack?
I want like realistic piss time.
My final thoughts is that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like really good or even like good. It was like okay.
Yeah.
It was like fine. It's between like a 5 or a 6 out of 10 for me.
I'll kill you.
To be perfectly honest.
I'll just straight up commit murder.
I was extremely neutral. I think it started pretty strong, and I'm like, okay, there could be like a fun adventure. They're off to do something.
And then there is?
No, it didn't happen. It never happened.
Kind of, yeah, I would agree with Luke. I think the opening is better, but even from the opening, I'm like, if this is the rest of the movie, it isn't going to be that fun, but like it has potential.
Yeah, but usually if a movie has like a fun, like campy opening, and then you like, they run off to do something, you're like, okay, maybe it can like trampoline up and just like blossom into like an amazing entertaining thing.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
But it just really didn't happen.
My head is in my hands right now. This movie has a Cyndi Lauper certified banger, and it's not above like a 6. What's your Letterboxd password? No reason.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it. I was thinking between a 3 and a 4. I'm gonna settle on a 4 out of 10.
Oh my god, out of 10.
Yeah, I don't see numbers out of 5. Like that's just what it is on Letterboxd, but I say out of 10 because that's easier.
I think this movie is severely underrated by the people that I would call my co-host for this podcast. I don't like the slander I'm hearing. I think this movie is a classic. I know I'm nostalgic for it, and that's why I like it, but that's fine. I can do that. Tegan likes all the Barbie movies. Luke likes Phantom Express. What the fuck? What's it called?
Polar
Express. Thank you. That movie sucks ass. He likes it.
It's good.
It's not that,
it's good.
That movie is horrible.
It's not good. But it's like a 5 out of 10.
I'm defending myself. This movie bangs.
I will say Polar Express is better than this.
Manny, you've never expressed an opinion to me that has made me like physically angry before. That was one of them. I'm gonna fight you.
I'm sorry, it's just true. Does the Goonies have a hot chocolate? The Goonies does not have an equivalent to hot chocolate.
Oh, this movie has no hot chocolate scene.
Does the Goonies have a train on ice? I don't think the Goonies has a train on
No,
the
the
ice.
Goonies has a
scene.
pirate ship. The Goonies has a cut octopus scene. I don't see Polar Express having a cut octopus scene.
The kids in Polar Express are infinitely more bearable than the kids in this movie.
No, are you kidding me? That one dude with the glasses, you know who I'm talking about. I want to fucking curb stomp that kid.
Everyone in this movie is the glasses kid.
No, that kid's a nerd. I hate nerds.
Tegan, what's your final rating of
Half star.
Oh, like a 1 out of 10?
I feel like that's not her genuine rating.
No, it is.
No, I feel like that's like you're mad.
Jack, you're just in denial.
No, Tegan.
It's down there for her with like Cat in the Hat, like A Quiet Place, all this stuff.
Tegan, you guys coerced me into giving Repo Man a 1 star. I feel like there needs to be some reciprocation.
I won't be.
You have no
coerced.
leverage.
Yeah, do we need to like pressure Tegan into bringing her review up?
No, I will not be tricked into anything.
Tegan, I'm just gonna edit a screenshot of her giving it 5 stars. I don't think I'm at the
Yeah.
end of my rope. There's nothing else I can do.
What are you giving it, Jack?
I'm giving this movie like a 4, like out of 5. I like it a lot. That's all I gotta say.
All right, whatever you say, I guess.
I understand it's very, very flawed, but I like it. I don't know, man. What else can I say?
Hmm?
Put up the Dukes, Tegan. I'm ready to fight anybody that slanders the Goonies.
I would literally want to fight against you.
Tegan, I am an entire foot taller than you.
Yeah, and I have strong pinching fingers, Jack.
Damn.
Tegan's gonna pinch you.
Color me yellow.
We'll move on from the Goonies.
I'll read this question.
Okay.
Luke, I'm just saying, you wrote, do you have any Ono directors or Ono movies?
No,
sorry.
it says, do you have any 0 out of 10 movies?
No, you said
Oh.
0 out of 10.
0 to 10, Pocahontas, Green Book.
I don't think Green Book's that bad.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
And it's like gross, and I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah, but Viggo Mortensen like folds an entire pizza in half and eats
Yeah.
it. That's got to be at least
That's
1
true.
star.
Like, he brings the movie up like a couple stars.
No.
That movie sucks.
I really don't like the Great Gatsby movie. I really, really hate it.
The one with Leo?
Is that a 0?
Yeah, I think it completely missed the point of the book. The book like critiques really like loud and boisterous parties, and like it hates the personalities, and it doesn't focus on that. It's like a really calm book. And then the movie's literally like a music video. They do the loud shit. There's like 15-minute party sequences. It completely misses the point of the book, and I hate it. It also has music from Our Century in a movie set in the 20s. Literally has the Lana Del Rey song.
That's annoying.
Are you saying Burning's a better adaptation of The Great Gatsby than The Great Gatsby?
I don't even need to think about the fact that that's something you can say, and I'm gonna say yeah. I had no idea that was a theory, but sure, probably.
I feel like this is becoming my Blue Velvet because I've already brought it up this episode, and I think every episode before. But I think I've rated it a half star. But I think Dr. Seuss the Grinch musical 2020. It's barely a fucking movie. Like, it didn't feel like a movie watching it. Like, I guess technically it's like filming a musical, but still it counts as a film.
I don't know if any of you noticed, but while we were watching it, I took 2 shots to get through it. I don't know if anybody noticed.
I don't think I noticed.
My camera was fully on. I couldn't.
I did not notice.
I love how everybody in that call was just like, "Oh shit, okay,
Like,
how much is
why
left?"
are we
But there was
here?
like a good like 10 people there just like watching this shit.
I will never forgive Annika.
I don't remember half of that. I saw the movie so recently, and I only remember like half of what happens.
It's because we weren't paying attention.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I was like fairly focused for like a lot of it, and it was still like it doesn't feel like it should exist.
Remember when Annika reviewed it 3 times?
To like try to boost the rating
Yeah.
in support of Matthew Morrison.
I love Matthew Morrison. He's hot and talented and does not deserve the hate. I love how he played the Grinch. You are all jealous, Matthew. I love you. Please don't listen to the haters. Please, I am a fan. You are not a bad person. That's like my 12 Monkeys comment.
Yeah.
Also, probably my answer would be like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, the movie. It's so bad.
Is it actually that bad?
It's actually like probably the worst like comedy I've ever seen.
Okay.
Like, it tries so hard to be funny. It tells jokes every 2 minutes for the whole movie, and none of them are remotely funny in any way.
I'm sure there's some like 3-year-old that found him funny.
That doesn't mean it's a 1 star.
Fair.
Okay, here's the next question.
Most underrated movie.
I think one that's really underrated and got really overlooked is At Eternity's Gate.
I agree.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Holy fuck. I watched that movie like a week ago. Oh my god.
I found it. I was just like scrolling through Amazon Prime, and then I found it, and I was like, "This looks interesting." thing, and then I watched it just like randomly, and then it was like really beautiful, and then I was like, Luke, you gotta watch this, and I didn't watch it till like months later, and then he was like, wait, this is actually really good.
I'm just confused because when it came out, people were just kind of like lukewarm on it. Like it has like a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's like one of my favorite biopics. It's so good.
It's my favorite.
It has like a 3.6 on Letterboxd. Like it wasn't like very well received. It was like received as like okay, but I think it's like a really, really well made movie, and I have no idea why it wasn't loved more than it was.
What I love so much about it is how it perfectly translates Van Gogh's style as a painter into like the camera work and the color coordination and like how Van Gogh paintings feel as a movie. It's like he made the movie himself. I can't express how much I love that movie's style. It's amazing.
There's like so many people who give it a negative review and they're like, oh, they just didn't know what a tripod was.
But like that's how Van Gogh made shit. It's genius.
Literally, tripods suck. I hate using tripods.
Same.
Yeah, I just think that movie's very underappreciated.
Absolutely.
And on the topic of movies that are really underappreciated and sort of go for unconventional like visual styles, I think The Polar Express.
Oh my, kick him from the call. Kick him from the call. Kick him from the fucking call.
Okay.
I don't want to hear it.
He's not allowed.
I think The Polar Express.
I muted him. I can't hear him.
The Polar Express gives me chills.
Is he still talking? Can I say my movie now?
Move on.
Huh?
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
go ahead,
Okay.
Jack.
Tegan just held my hand and said, let's move on. It was so like it's
Oh my
just
God.
condescending. I literally like almost cried when I watched The Polar Express.
Shut up, man. Just stop talking. I hate that. I'm gonna say Luca Guadagnino's a bigger splash.
I
Ooh.
agree.
I think people know Luca for like We Are Who We Are and Call Me By Your Name. People know him for those, but nobody talks about A Bigger Splash. And I think that movie fucking kicks ass. I really love the vibe. Ralph Fiennes is amazing in it.
He dances to Emotional Rescue by the Rolling Stones while his like shirt is unbuttoned in like the sun, and it's really like exciting, and like
I love that scene so much.
I almost started dancing while I was watching it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a fun, chill vibe, and then it gets really dark very quickly. So maybe that's why people were put off by it, but I still think it was very good.
What I really love about Luca's movies set in Italy is that the people like straight up just do not act like humans. They're like ethereal beings. Like they don't act like normal people. And I think that's like really exemplified in this movie. People are just weird as fuck. It works. I really like it.
Yeah, Ray Fiennes does not behave as a human should.
That is not a functioning person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he goes on this huge rant about how he put a bucket in a Rolling Stones song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess I'm along for the ride. He was being really strange.
I really want to watch that movie again.
I guess I just don't watch a lot of movies that go under the radar typically, but a couple that come to mind, and they're not really that underrated. I guess they're just sort of, they aren't talked about as much compared to like other stuff in the same genre by the same director. Like one I can think of is Hunt for the Wilder People by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk more about like Jojo Rabbit or What We Do in the Shadows. And I think Hunt for the Wilder People is at least on par with What We Do in the Shadows, and definitely I like it a lot.
I think it's better than both of those.
Yeah, and I think it's better as well than Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, another thing I want to say, Jennifer's Body. That movie kicks ass. That movie is so fun.
I feel like that movie's been having a bit of a renaissance recently. Like,
Has it?
I see more and more people talking
I've
about
seen
it.
people talking about that. I haven't seen
Oh, that makes me so happy.
People hated this too much when it came out, and like people seem to be finding a new appreciation for it now.
That movie fucking is awesome. I love Jennifer's Body so much.
Bamboozled has very low ratings in a lot of places, but it's Spike Lee's best movie.
Really?
It's an incredible movie, Bamboozled.
Better than Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, Bamboozled is better than Do the Right Thing.
I don't believe that.
It is true.
I do not believe that.
Also, I feel like I was peer pressured into saying Vice was not very good, but I think Adam McKay's movies are actually very entertaining, and I liked Vice.
No, you can like Vice. I liked Vice, but you cannot say Adam McKay's movies are
Okay, I'm talking about The Big Short and Vice. That's it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As long as you're not defending Anchorman.
I think Vice is a good movie, and I think people hate on it too much.
Yeah.
I don't think people talk about The White Ribbon a lot when it comes to Michael Haneke. And I think that movie is very, very beautifully shot. It is very stunning. And I think Inland Empire is also underrated.
I don't like Inland Empire, and I would honestly agree that it's underrated.
I got one more, and it is Barton Fink by the Coen brothers. It's definitely still like well renowned because it's a Coen brothers movie, but compared to like a lot of their other more famous movies. It's definitely overlooked. I think it's as good as many of their other ones. I'm not totally sure about the ending, but it feels like something that's really significant that I'll get more out of when I go back and rewatch it. So.
That's one of those like Coen brothers that I feel like I'll get to like last.
I don't think any Coen brothers is gonna top Llewyn Davis for me.
I feel the same way.
I mean, I haven't seen Llewyn Davis since it's been in theaters, so I can't really have an opinion on it, but Fargo...
Since it was in theaters?
Yeah, I was like dragged to it with my
Holy
family,
shit.
and I remember like nothing about it.
Jesus, yeah, rewatch that, man.
I know, because right now Fargo is my favorite, but that one might be. Yeah, and I love folk music, so...
Okay, that's it for the questions, and now we're going to pick our movie. We'll do the topic first this time, before the name. Okay.
Alright, Luke's shaking up the jar. Let's see what we get.
Guest episode.
What?
Whoa.
We gotta pull a guest in? Okay, let's add Callum to the call, because he wanted to be a guest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, you hear Callum?
Yep.
Hi.
Callum, do you want to be on the film canister for our next episode?
I don't know.
Come on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. All right.
Yeah, alright. We got our next guest. Let's go.
Copped me a Callum. Got me one of these motherfuckers.
Callum, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a person. I know these guys and people. Yeah, that's all you need to know about me.
You're doing a real bad job at like coming off as a human right now.
Well, me being a human is it's debatable.
You are kind of the most robot-y person I know.
Now, Callum, tell us a little bit about your film taste.
It's kind of probably worse than everybody else's here.
That's subjective.
That makes me stand out.
Yeah.
So I got a new outlook.
Makes you special.
I mean, I was gonna say, is there such a thing as bad taste? But I think liking the Goonies is bad taste, so...
Manny, I'll fight you.
You can't get worse than Jack.
Once again, not afraid to put up the dukes, man.
I mean, you are tall. You are like an inch taller than me,
I
so...
am taller. I may be 139 pounds, but
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to throw hands. Why don't you give us your favorite movie, Callum?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a hard question. I guess I'll just say The Grand Budapest Hotel. I really like that movie.
That's a
Hell
good
yeah.
That's
one.
a strong choice.
That's probably in my top 5 as well. That's a very good one.
I saw it like 7 times on a plane because it was like the only option. So
That's a banger movie. I remember you told me that, and I was like, how can somebody do that? And then I watched it, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I get it.
Mhm.
That's probably the movie I could rewatch the most in a row.
A lot of details.
it was a 15-hour flight. So
Where were you going?
Hawaii actually.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Callum, what do you want us to talk about next time?
Wait, do I have to like?
Pick a movie.
Yeah, pick a movie.
Pick a movie. Any movie.
This is a real conundrum. Give me like a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah, no, we always take like 5 minutes.
We'll be back.
All right, I think I know what I want to pick.
Okay, I'm excited.
I'm feeling Sorry to Bother You.
Ooh.
I've been meaning to get around to watching that.
I literally just watched that 2 days ago, so I'm excited to watch it again, I guess. Let's go.
Wow.
That's my fault. I haven't reviewed it yet.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Jack was talking about how he hasn't seen it yet, but he might have gotten it spoiled. But
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that'll be a good.
No,
one.
we can still do it. I'll just watch it again. I don't care.
All right,
It's a good
yeah,
movie.
alright, cool.
cool.
This is gonna be fun. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Excited for this. Alright. Tegan, can we get an outro?
Ba-doop-boop.